We are back to it, everybody, after a wonderful holiday season. I hope you guys all had fun. And yeah, sorry for the long break. I just decided to take a little bit of time off because I was getting a little bit burnt out recording all these series. But we're back to it. We're trying to keep ourselves out of jail, of course. We got a lot of events to take care of. Quality powder. I guess we don't have to do it this... We don't have to do these this month, though. How are we looking? Alta's pretty stressed. Clint's pretty stressed. Joe. Will's very stressed. Let's send Will. And Clint. I guess we'll just, yeah. Joe, maybe? Let's send them on vacation so they'll come back next month. Rested and rejuvenated. Hopefully. We did complete one of our major goals. Pay 10 million to Noah the lobbyist. So that's good. Congress approves Amendment 28. We have a long way to go. Holy shit, this game is long. We're actually going to play for 4 years. Okay. What are the big things? Convince the businessman. 6 million. Create a statue. Once you're popular enough, you'll be able to construct a monument to immortalize yourself. Win you new supporters. Okay, so I think I'm going to focus on approval rating now, since we did our big money thing. Which means I should reconsider my administration. He's going to leave if we remove him, right? Which might not be the worst idea now. Because we're not looking for money, per se. Yeah. I think I'm going to remove these guys. Oh, that was kind of stressful. Okay. Press secretary. Gain 4.5% rating at the end of every month. But more stress. Your rating gains after events are increased by 1/3, but we'll lose money. Your rating losses after events are increased by 1/3. That's funny. All team members lose 1 stress point at the end of every month, but we lose 100,000. What's Chief of Staff Conrad? It's just corrupt boss. Team member actions increases stress points by 1 less. Increase stress points by 1 less. Okay, so that's a bonus. I thought it was 1 more. You lose 300,000. Corrupt secretary. Your rating losses after events are reduced by 1/3, but we lose a lot of money. Team members are paid 25% less. We lose ratings. We gain ratings. We had him as press secretary. Joe, gain 150,000 at the end of every month. The investor favorite. Your rating gains after events are reduced by 1/3. Not good. Lose 100,000. Increase stress. Wait. Team member actions increase stress points by 1 less. That's such a weird way to word that. Member actions. I don't know a better way to word it though. Team member actions increase stress points by 2 more. Irresponsible boss. Lose 0.4% ratings at the end of every month. All team members lose 1 stress point at the end of every month. That's not bad. But we lose ratings. Lose ratings. Lose 1 stress point at the end of every month. Chief of Staff. Team members are paid 50% less. Team member actions increase stress points by 1 more. Generous philanthropist. We gain 3.5% ratings at the end of every month. You lose 180,000. Okay, cutting negotiator, press secretary. We gain 1.5% ratings at the end of every month. We're gonna do that. Team member actions increase stress points by 2 more. Nope. 2.5% ratings at the end of every month. Team members are paid 50% more at the end of every month. Eccentric leader. Let's do it. And then we just need a treasury secretary. Jerry? No. I feel like Ollie's No. So this would be good for managing stress. .5% ratings. Oh, he's already in there. What was Joe again? Okay, I think I like Clint. All right, this is what we're going with. So we're going for ratings now. See if we can get it above 65% so we can create a statue. Let's go. Some of your subordinates are about to burn out. Do you want to send them on vacation? I don't think I can. Okay. I can't remove anyone. Shit, I should have sent them. Though they won't be around next month though, that's fine. I don't have enough money to proceed. Oh no. Okay, well, I guess. Oh no. Guess I won't pay Jerry. He's probably gonna leave. And Alta. I should have maybe had a little bit more money as backup. Yikes. Okay, but our ratings have gone up. Cool. July to August. We're in August 2021. Monthly dividend. Okay, so we're at 204,000. Wiltrich says, Mr. President, thanks for the vacation. I was able to spend some time with my family and get my mind off of work. It's the first time I've ever done that, and I feel like those were the best days in my life. But for now, though, let's get back down to business. Our chief of staff, wearing a Michael Jordan shirt. Jerry says, I'll agree to work pro bono, boss, but only until the end of the month. Here's hoping you pay your debts with interest. I gotta make some cash. Alta says, sorry, cowboy, but I don't work for free. I'm hoping you can pay off your debts by the end of the month. If not, we'll have to part ways. Solve the mafia conflict. Ah, okay. Mr. President, I'm grateful to you for helping my client make amends with his competitor. Jerry was able to not only talk the offended father down, but also convince him he should let Mr. Marconi offer his reasoning. Such mediation skills are well respected in our line of business, so the war is not going to happen. Some of the funds we allocated for the hostilities will now go to the good cause, including your charity foundation. Okay, we needed that cash. Suppress the insurgency. Frisbee Cole, the governor of Texas, says, Mr. President, Conrad did a dirty but effective job. Norris is found with a fractured skull, not far from his own home. The police thought it was a robbery. I can't thank you enough. I invite you and your friends to a luxury VIP casino for my own people. Personally, it always helps me de-stress and forget myself. Cool. Ellie says, honey, you don't have to wait a whole month anymore for tired employees to rest. If you want them quickly to blow off some stress, just send them to the casino. Oh, cool. The Texas Underground Casino. In an underground casino away from prying eyes, one could enjoy gambling and pleasant company. Anyone who spends time here after grueling work will get rid of much stress. Subordinates will be fully rested. Okay, 200,000 though. Shit. Noah says, Mr. President, our last dinner at Fat Joe's was a hoot. Could you maybe send a couple more experts who know how to hack into computers over Wi-Fi? I'll gladly compensate you for their time by donating a tiny sum to your share. Okay, I actually do need this cash, so send both of them. Chadwick Renshaw, head of the Federal Aviation Administration, says, Sir, thank you so much on behalf of the entire department. Now that the boundary has been raised, we're feeling a lot more confident. Polls say this bolstered patriotism not only in pilots, but even the wider society. You'll be enshrined in American history as the president who made our country a bigger, if not better place. Plus point 2. Oh, okay, that was much needed. Much needed. I don't mind taking the hit. Sergei Shmyakin, Ambassador Rush says, Mr. President, a shiny first batch of Mashenkas just made it stateside, which I am grateful to you. What your media got up in arms over for your good rapport with the Russians and allegedly corrupt ways, I wouldn't lose any sleep over that if I were you. As we say in Russia, good journalists tend to speak of the president with respect, while bad ones tend to end up behind bars. Meredith Villarreal, director of the Environmental Protection Agency, says, Mr. President, Canada has criminalized tossing cigarette butts anywhere other than trash cans. Cannot afford to lag behind when it comes to progress. I suggest we equip all trash cans with surveillance cameras and closely monitor garbage collection. Systematic disorderly behavior will be punished by correctional labor. Would you mind signing this executive order? Wait! Yes, I would mind signing it, but we encountered this before. I'm saying no to it. I hope this is the right answer. Because it says, would you mind signing it, this executive order? If I say no, it means I actually would like to sign it. No. I think I'm doing this right. Kuizan Kawasaki, head of the Digital Development Commission, says, oh, this is the police. The devs also made this as the police. Although it's a different name. The studio has a different name. So I was a little bit confused. Maybe they came up with a different name for this particular game. They're called Super Pack. I think it was WeAppy that developed this as the police. Anyways, clearly they're referencing that. They're both published by THQ Nordic regardless. But anyways, Mr. President, you are not going to believe this. I went into a store today and I saw them selling This Is the Police Parole Edition for $80. You know, remind you the original game cost $40. How can we even talk about transitioning to a digital economy if the video games are so terribly overpriced? Where's our country heading? Who are we leaving our children to? Mobile grindfests? Only the firm hand of a strong leader can save us, Mr. President. I am begging you. Let us limit the maximum price of video games to $30. I can tell you that this is the most wanted thing in the world. So yes. Harry Cushing, chairman of the sports committee. Mr. President, a Chinese athlete swam 100-meter butterfly in 45 seconds today. It is just 3 seconds faster than the previous record. That's actually really good. But you have no idea what a vast difference these two results make. There can be no doubt the Chinese doping service now puts the Russians to shame. The other countries are going to follow suit. And we'll be left in the dust trying to raise Olympians on chicken breasts and little else. Maybe we should be more proactive when it comes to helping our finest. Yes, absolutely. That's very important. Jesse C says, the House of Representatives voted to impeach the president. Now the case on his dismissal from office will be considered by the Senate. It requires 2/3 of the vote to remove the president from the White House. I thought we paid to have this taken care of. The so-called impeachment declared by the House of Representatives is a blot on the pages of history. Fortunately, there are still enough sane people in the Senate who aren't puppets of the establishment. The president's opponents have no chance there. Thank you, Berta. Doofus says, some nasty journalist quoted me as saying that the president is the greatest failure. But how could you say that about a president who was impeached within the first few months? And yes, I reached out and sent my friend a care package. He sent us the migrant caravan? Warmonger says, the director of national intelligence, in case you forgot, it's an honor to meet you, President. Did we already meet him? We have intelligence that a caravan of South American refugees is moving toward the southern border. Most of them are reportedly from Venezuela and Bolivia, where local dictators hold their countries in an iron grip. I understand why everyone wants to come here. The United States is the richest power in the world. Even Faced, that pathetic crook, didn't completely ruin our country's image. The trouble is, none of those migrants are applying for refugee status. Looks like they're so used to the chaos back home, they have no respect for the rule of law. Mr. President, are you going to let these refugees into America without legal process? Let everyone in without exception. The USA is a country of immigrants and will be an example to follow around the world. Set up a refugee camp near the border and don't let any of them sneak past. We'll only accept mothers with young children, turn the rest away. Don't let anyone in unless they have the right to be here. If they're abiding by the law, then follow standard procedures. We're trying to go for popularity here. This is a sticky one in terms of getting popularity. Not doing the right thing. I have a feeling this could be very unpopular in the US. Just let everyone in without exception. I think we're gonna go with don't let anyone in unless they have the right to be here. If they're abiding by the law, then follow standard procedures. It will be done, Mr. President. I see that you're for strict adherence to procedure, not endless exceptions that inevitably lead to chaos. Just one thing bothers me. Under FACE, all our special detention centers were filled with migrants who broke through the border illegally after they were denied entry. But I'm sure you know what you're doing. Shit. If any among the president's supporters hope that he would finally resolve the migrant crisis, they are surely disappointed today. His methods are no different from those of his predecessor. Fuck. Chicago riots. Oh, this is all going downhill. Serge Gilmore, mayor of Chicago, says, Mr. President, we're having big problems in the city. At the Jackie Singer and Sons shoe store, Jackie Singer shot a 15-year-old black girl who was taking a pair of sandals out of the store. The next day, a judge issued an acquittal for 5 patrolmen who kicked a black guy half to death for resisting arrest. Today, tens of thousands of people have taken to the streets, and they're clashing with the police. To be honest, I'm afraid to imagine what might happen next. Sorry, Mr. President, but it seems we may be losing control of the situation, and I must ask you to intervene. I don't want broken skulls on top of broken ribs. Is there anything you can do to help the people of Chicago? We'll declare a state of emergency and impose a curfew. Let's demand that judges resign and support the protesters. Yes! Okay, we're gonna take the opposite approach. Let's demand that the judges resign and support the protesters. Maybe this will work. Lawlessness. Well, that's not really lawlessness. It's getting rid of the corrupt judges, right? Mr. President, there's nothing wrong with being on people's wavelength, but I'm afraid we were a little too hasty with our statements. The protesters decided you gave your blessing to the riots, and they've only intensified. No! Clashes with the authorities have gotten worse, and your words greatly demoralized both the police and the army. I'll keep you posted, but the situation, pardon my French, smells like kerosene. No! Oh! It worked, though! What is going on in Chicago? This question would have been on everyone's mind until Mr. President got on the right side of history and curbed the violence. It's because we have Joe Lynn in our back pocket, baby. Okay, so we don't have any new events that we have to take care of this month. That's good. I should take a look at the items I have. Dirt on White House employees. Let's hang on to that. I think we're in a good situation now. Okay. Needs a rest. So let's... Oh, I see. We can go to the side here for the casino. Let's send Tien. To rest for sure. And oh, we've got ones that are that have to be taken care of from last month though. Quality powder. Uh-oh. That looks like Tony. Hey man, me and the Secret Service analyzed the cocaine from that briefcase. We still don't know who brought it in, but I figured out that it was stuffed with face powder. That's what the tweakers are calling the latest high quality powder that's been flooding the streets of DC. Do you know what they call the second-class product? Estaba. I'm telling you, man, that doesn't work for me. I've never been more insulted. Not since that journalist from Just DC wrote that I was a court jester. They're not just insulting me, but you too. Think about it. Why is the best product in the city named after some drunk loser? We've got to fix this right away. Destroy the reputation of face powder. Okay. Joe? Joe and Conrad, maybe? There's no way we can improve the quality of the Estaba strain, but nothing is stopping us from destroying the reputation of face powder. The goods get processed somewhere in the southern part of the city. My sources have already tracked down where the facility is located. So what do you say, man? Are we going to set the record straight and restore our good name? We know where the facility is. So let's see what Conrad can do. Get into the production facility and mix detergent powder into the face batch. Sell flour in the streets packaged as faced. Write a devastating anonymous review of faced. Let's do this one. Brother, I went to the address you gave me with my guys, cracked the front lock, and shut off the alarm. There was a cocaine production setup in the basement of the house. Everything was looking good. I was going to solve the problem right there on the spot. But then we realized that the powder of different batches was stored in 2 identical bags. Brother, we had to figure out for ourselves which one was the Estaba and which one was Face. Oh no, they got high. Sorry to say it, but the Estaba stuff is funky. Anyway, we double-checked everything several times, and then we dumped a couple of packages of washing powder into the face batch. Now the Washington Elite will be starting their day with fresh lemon scent. Ha! The street is talking about how terrible Faced is. All of DC has switched to Estaba. Of course, it's not the best thing they've ever put up their nose, but if not Estaba, then who? The answer, of course, is you, my friend, guardian of the nation's physical and moral health. Keep it up. I can't wait for the new premium strain. I just know it will be named after you. I threw a bag of Estaba on your desk for you to try. Estaba cocaine, a bag of cocaine of the Estaba variety. It can be used to relieve the stress of all team members. Write a post, no. I don't understand the fashion of naming drugs after politicians. A politician's name is the most important thing he has. Read the Bill of Rights, losers. It's just the most nonsensical tweets. My dream is to one day have a star named after me. But I wouldn't mind having a free charity hospital named after me one day. This doesn't make any sense. Tweeting's my favorite part of this game. Only a virus or parasite would be named after you, and faith still sticks out more powerfully. Who the hell are you? What are you doing? This is pretty much Twitter. That's pretty much Twitter right there in a nutshell. Read the Bill of Rights. Oh, nice. 57.4. The main Washington trend of recent times is to name cocaine varieties after politicians. After the fall in demand for Faced, Estaba became the sole market leader. Beautiful. Meredith Vieira, director of the Environmental Protection Agency, says, Mr. President, it's an emergency. Some volunteers working for our agency just sounded the alarm. There's a major environmental disaster cooking up on Lake Michigan. The culprit is the ironworks outside the village of One River. Those pigs are dumping their filth straight into a creek that feeds into Michigan. The worst thing is that someone's covering for them. The local authorities are keeping a perfect poker face, and the supervisory bodies are obviously all on the payroll. You're probably the only person in the world who can hit the bastards where it hurts. Will you issue an order to close the One River Ironworks? Well, people are going to lose jobs. Well, let's do it. This probably be popular. Alexis Dunlop, director of the Bureau of Western Hemisphere Affairs, is giving us the finger, apparently. Mr. President, in his address to the nation, the Philippine leader dared to call you a walking mound of bird excrement and a waste of skin, undeserving of being called a president. Okay, so this isn't Alex that's giving us the finger. It's the Filipino leader who doesn't have a name. We can't let such insults fly. May we call him a mound of something in response? I've got quite a few ideas. Yes. Cyrus Morton, I like that name, president of the Center for Progressive Youth, says, Sir, the conservatism of the former president faced and his unequivocal disdain towards LGBT matters are nothing short of shocking. Not only did he block the beautiful idea for the Statue of Liberty to fly the pride flag, he also ran the LGBT community out of the White House. I meant to say, off the White House website. Let's face it, these days, the digital world is just as important as the real one. Will you let the LGBT community section back on the White House website, sir? Yeah. Ellie's back. My dear, you won't believe this. The fashion blogger Sophia Hill is accusing us of plagiarism. The little chicken girl wrote the American Rainbow version of the new anthem. They're jealous, I guess. Anyway, we didn't go with that option, and the little chicken girl started making up stories. She claimed that your story about the homeless woman in Sands magazine was hers, and it really happened to her. According to her, she met a homeless woman in the city who was complaining about the hardships of her life. Sophia told the woman about the meaning of the universe, and somehow the homeless woman regained her sight and completely changed her life. Hill is demanding $100,000 and she's threatening a plagiarism lawsuit. What are we gonna do, dear? Pay her or wash her hands of the mess? $50,000 out of court settlement. Send her somewhere far away. Let her scribble complaint somewhere else. Out of court settlement, $50,000. Honey, we went with the settlement. She accepted the offer almost without even thinking about it. It's like she wasn't hoping to get anything at all. Here is one. Maybe we should have ignored her, but this money won't bring her any good. Ellie's just such... God. Us and Ellie were just like these heartless people. I hope this money won't bring her any good. Oh no. The blogger Sophia Hill has dropped all plagiarism charges against the president. Rumors are circulating that she settled with the administration outside of court. Now it looks like we'll never get an answer to the question, who is the real author of the president's so-called history? Maybe that could have been worse, though. Meredith Vieira is back. Oh, Mr. President, even our greatest grandchildren will remember you standing up for nature. The local papers may be shrieking that you should have just banned the waste dumping instead of closing the ironworks altogether and putting the whole town of One River out of work. I assume the what? The choice is between closing it or not closing it, not closing it or banning. Some of these decisions are hard. I'm not gonna mince words. Some of these decisions are not well laid out. Or maybe I just misread, I don't know. But the environmental safety of America is an omelet that can't be made without breaking a few eggs. It's not that big of a hit. Mr. President, I sure didn't pull any stops laying into Wilbur Sr., the Philippine leader. At a recent press conference, I made sure to call him bald as something else I could name. But he's not bald. And a vampire sucking at the planet's privates. This must have been properly painful to listen to. Shame there are people ignorant as to the art of diplomacy who didn't appreciate my way with words. A squabble between two high schoolers. Seriously? Americans love that shit. For sure that would increase our popularity. The battle for Hollywood. Oh. Yang Yisuk, president of the Directors Guild. Mr. President, how good it is to meet you. It is such a privilege to represent the interests of the Guild here in the Oval Office. But courtesy aside, did you know that our glorious American cinema is under threat? The problem is, I was recently kicked out of my director's chair because I was too aggressive in defending a film script against the producers. They were insisting on rewrites because of certain eroticism and political allusions that the Chinese censors might not approve. I understand that cinema is a business, and sometimes you have to play it safe. But Mr. President, we were filming a picture about a lost parrot. And the producers, and you were making it erotic? The producer, I'm sorry, my mind is just like swirling with this now. And the producers were objecting that there was too much eroticism in the relationship between the mistress and the bird. They're probably right. Mr. President, tomorrow afternoon, a controlling stake in Digital Cinema, America's largest film production company, will be bought by Chinese shareholders. Censorship will only intensify. In a few short years, all we'll see on the screen is harmless trash about the friendships of balls and bees. Balls and bees? What? I want to see that. Are we really going to sit back and allow this to happen? My press office will announce via social media that we stand firmly against the Chinese censorship in American cinema. I will sponsor a law restricting Chinese capital in American film companies. I'm not going to stick my nose into someone else's business. I'm sure Hollywood knows that they're doing better than I do. Let's go with a law. We'll sponsor a law restricting Chinese capital in American film companies. Mr. President, Chinese investors are shocked by your statements, and they've begun to dump their shares in Hollywood film companies. Digital Cinema's value dropped by a third, and the deal to sell the shares is postponed. It's a small victory for American cinema over Chinese expansion. Unfortunately, in retaliation, the Chinese authorities removed all American films from their box offices, and money for new projects will be more difficult to get. We'll be shooting sequel after sequel, but at least we could breathe easily in the fresh air of creative freedom. Ah, I needed that. Ratings bump of 2.8%. The influence of Chinese censors on American popular culture is only growing. And no matter what the president might say, it's too late to do much about it. At least the American people can take some comfort from the fact that he didn't outright side with the Chinese investors. Okay. Wow, man. It's just a whirlwind of events in this game.